Hi, I'm John Freitag with All American Hospice. We are back again with Mindy Haggerty and Brian Quigley, Senior Real Estate Specialists at Keller Williams. And we wanted to talk about a program that they are working on, PATHS. Brian, why don't you tell us what PATHS is?
Sure. So PATHS is the Professional Alliance to Help Seniors. And there are two chapters, one in Montgomery County and one in Bucks County. So Mindy and I are president and vice president of the Montgomery County PATHS. And we started this in January along with Scott Mitchell, and he is the president in Bucks County. So we kind of merged and managed both groups at the same time, separate of each other. And it's a one category per person group. And we have people like 101 Mobility. We have us, Keller Williams Real Estate. We have home care services, home helpers. We have a Rothkopf Law Group for elder care attorney. So it's just a really good mix of everyone whose vocation and desire and passion is to help seniors.
Right. So it's like a one-stop shop. If there's a senior who needs something, they can hit PATHS and they know these are preferred providers who have their best interests in mind.
Correct.
Absolutely. And we're communicating with these folks all the time. So we're working as, a cohesive group. And it just kind of takes a burden away from a senior.
Do you have any examples, any recent examples of people that you've worked with and like how you were able to help them?
Absolutely. So with one of our recent sales in Bucks County, we worked with Carter's Home Downsizing, Court Ebling, and he came in and downsized the home. He helped the client sell off collections, valuable collections of both jewelry. Her husband had an interesting knife collection, and there had to be 1,000 knives, and he had them attached to the walls throughout the house. It was quite intimidating at first, but it turned into be a pretty valuable collection. So Court spent the better part of 10 days with the client, helping her sell and downsize. She then moved into the community, and we had our other vendor partner who does house cleans and painting, small repairs, steam clean carpets. And we were able to put that home under contract in about 10 days for 96% of the asking price. So in that case, two vendor partners helped. Rothkopf Law Group also helped with some planning and some advice as to how to make her money last the longest for her care.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds. How did PATHS come into fruition? Like, how did you develop the Montgomery County one?
So we developed Montgomery County in January, but the person who started it first was Scott Mitchell. He represents the Givnish Family Life Celebrations, funeral homes. He's a reverend, a pastor. So he started the Bucks County, I think about 4 or 5 years ago.
I bet Scott before. He's great. Yeah, he's
great. Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So great guy, great vision, same passion. And we met him back in January, and the rest is kind of history.
We just loved what he thought, what he was doing, and we wanted to replicate that. And it's been great. Yeah.
Have you seen anyone else try to copy it? I mean, it's good. Imitation's great, especially like in other counties putting together these resources. Have you seen anyone else working on any projects? Chester, Delaware?
There isn't anyone else other than PATHS or Montgomery County. And part of our mission, our goal, our vision is to expand. I think the nice piece in real estate in Keller Williams is we could, along with Scott, and some of the members have crossover. So we have members that are in both Bucks and Montgomery. And we could envision that with Chester and Delaware and Philly. And that is our goal, is to expand this as time goes on.
Yeah. And I mean, you just want to do what's best for the person, right? So have you ever had anyone who's interested maybe in selling their house? They're on the fence because they need to downsize, or they have stairs or something that's making them want to leave. And you come in and you do a little bit of digging and you find out, well, maybe they can stay there and they'd be a little bit happier. Are you guys able to do anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially right now in this climate, we're finding that the seniors either are put on hold, they can't get into their community, or they're just not sure at this time too. So, but maybe they had made the decision a few months ago because the stairs were a problem. So we team up with 101 Mobility, and we can send them in there, and they could do as much as an elevator, but they can do a Stairmaster or just grab bars or just make the house more comfortable or, accessible for that senior. We also have builders. So if you decided you wanted to build an in-law suite onto your kid's house, we have resources for that. And we can also, put you through with an attorney, or we have lenders, someone who would help you. How's that money going to be funded? Does Medicare pay for that? Does Medicaid pay for any of that? So yeah, we can definitely do that. It's just really what that senior needs and what works best for them.
Right. No, that's great. So you have someone who might be at home, they decline, they're not really ready for a community. You could get the ball rolling on getting them an in-law suite, sell their house, get them all their mobility stuff, hook them up with, whatever type of funding they can get. That's amazing that you guys are able to do that. And and there's so many resources out there that people don't even know about. So I think if people just come to you with a problem, you'd be able to put the pieces together, because there is so much going on. VA benefits, things that are available to them, waiver programs. There's a billion different things out there.
And we have people for both VA benefits and for Medicare, Medicaid benefits. We just hired, or we didn't hire, he hired us, if you think about it. Yeah. John Christensen, he's a Medicare, Medicaid specialist. So he just joined the group last month. And again, we're expanding where we'll have to reprint our material, but we have a Facebook, Paths of Montgomery County Facebook. We already are up to 500 followers since the launch in March, actually March 1st. So a client of any of ours can go on to Facebook and see all the postings from all of us and the shared information. Something like today, we can share on that Facebook. And that gives both the client and the client's children, the adult children of our seniors, just a really good feeling of what's happening here and how we're helping each other. And I think key here is for each of us to be a source of the source. So we have shared clients, we're the source of the source for what they need.
Right. So that Facebook group, is it open to the general public, or do you have to be a client to see that info?
It's to the general public at this time. And it's each member is an administrator there, so we can act as though it's our own and post whichever items or information that we deem necessary or collectively, and then the general public is the beneficiary.
That's awesome. And so they can put in their problem, they plug it in online, and then whoever would have the best answer, or everyone, chimes in and tries to point them in the right direction.
Yeah,
that's correct. Absolutely. Yeah, they can like and follow, and then they can question or send us a personal message. All of our information, our emails and our phone numbers are on there. The first contact would be us, most likely, and then we can go from there as to plugging them into who they need.
Yeah, and that's good, because Facebook, as you probably know, like the age is, it was at 41 and a half, I think is the average age for Facebook users. So people a little bit older, they have parents who might benefit from it. I saw a New York Times article that Facebook use was up like 30% during the pandemic. So you got a lot of people out there who are trying to find some information, and that's great that you guys put it all out there freely just for everyone to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, information is key right now. I mean, there's a lot of things swirling around there, so we feel like we have a professional who could answer a question that we might not know the answer to, but we know we have someone who would. Yeah,
and like I was telling you earlier, I mean, I've been in healthcare for almost 20 years of account dietary experience in high school, but so I've met a lot of different people, and there's still stuff I'm learning every single day, because there's specialists like yourselves who do the ins and outs of real estate and hook them up with all these different resources. There's things that I do that that you guys wouldn't know. So it's good that you can connect the dots and really put everything out there for people. That's amazing. Is there anything else about Paths that you wanted to mention before we wrap up?
So I think the vision of Paths is really to be kind of almost that Macy's approach that they used to have. Hey, if we don't have it, we'll find out who has it for you and get it to you, or direct you in that proper avenue and the proper person, really. And that's what's good about Paths, is we get to sort of vet each other through, again, Zoom calls or monthly meetings that we have to figure out who's the best fit for the problem that's out there for our senior.
Right. I love that approach. Just trying to find them the best answer. So that's great. Well, thank you guys for all you do, and continue to keep up the great work. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
And I will be sure to share all the links and everything below so people can, contact you and they can join your PATS group. That's
Great.
awesome.
You're John. Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thanks, John.
Thanks so much.